show people who Rob Zombie really is, talk about his life a little bit, and just to give people a better understanding of who Rob Zombie really is. Um, Also, too, I wanted to get the point across that having a dream, the talent, and the hard work and determination, you can make your dreams a reality. And Rob Zombie is a perfect example of that. I chose Rob Zombie not only for the simple fact that he is one of the most talented artists out there right now, but for the simple fact that he is not one of those types of people that a lot of people know about. He's one of those dark persona types, like really mysterious, doesn't talk much, and I hope that this segment will really broaden people's minds on who Rob Zombie really is. So let's get to it, his life and biography. Okay, Robert Cummings, also known as Rob Zombie, was born on January 12, 1965, in a small town of Harbor Hill, Massachusetts. As the first son of Robert and Louise Cummings, he grew up working in the family business as in a circus carnival with his whole family. He continued to work with the circus. Until a huge riot broke out, injuring him and his brother in the process, to the point where his family just wanted to pack up and leave. Shortly after the whole riot incident, Rob Zombie graduated high school and he moved on to New York City so he can enroll in the Parsons School of Design. While he was at Parsons, while he was attending Parsons, he met Sean Yolfich. I can't say her last name, but he met Sean, and they started dating and they got an apartment together. And after some time, they created the band White Zombie. Now, after living with each other for quite some time, Rob Zombie and Sean broke up, and they continued still doing music together. But shortly after that, Rob Zombie had met Sherry Moon. In 2002, him and Sherry eloped, and they were together for the next 17 years after that. Sherry Moon's also in all of his films, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. She's also, she's in charge of all the designing of the clothing and all that for the movies as well. I don't know if anybody knew that or not. Let's get into his work. Okay, Rob Zombie's early career was an easy road, but he had many odd jobs. Before he became who he is today, starting with him being a designer for adult movies. A lot of people didn't know that. He designed the covers of magazines for adult movies in his late teen years. He was a songwriter and a performer for the band White Zombie, which is right here. White Zombie was founded in the late 80s, early 90s. He got his name from an old 1930s movie, old 1930s Bela Lugosi film, White Zombie, that was about the living dead girls and boys. Some say it was the first zombie film to ever hit the market. That's what most say. He got White Zombie's success wasn't an easy feat. It wasn't until his music aired on Beavis and Butthead, and they declared that White Zombie rocks before his album. Shortly after that happened, his album hit in the top 40 spot in the music charts. In 1996, Robert Cummings legally changed his name to Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie is one of the founding fathers of White Zombie. White Zombie was one of a kind in its time. I mean, they had their own style, their own type of music. They were too punk to be, alternative. They're too alternative to be heavy. They were too heavy to be, they didn't have a spot for their own, and for that, at that time was just something, massive. They changed the whole scene after that. Let's see here. Well, here's pictures of the White Zombie cover of where he got the movies from. Let's see here. White Zombie's name and presence began starting to, as it started progressing, they started opening up for Anthrax, Alice Cooper, Megadeth, stuff like that. And, that's just to name a few. He was a production assistant in his late teens for Pee-wee's Playhouse. It was a CBS children's television show back in the early or mid 80s. Pee-wee's Playhouse was a children's TV show that starred a character named Pee-wee Herman, played by Paul Reubens. Pee-wee's Playhouse first aired on September 13, 1986, and continued to play until the early 90s. In 1991, Paul Reubens had gotten arrested for indecent exposure at an adult movie theater for masturbation. And if that wasn't bad enough, shortly after, he was again arrested for possession of child pornography. That's terrible. I mean, that really is.